Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
Fargo was once a town of 600 that's grown to over 100,000 in the last century. Despite a fire that nearly wiped out downtown Fargo, it's persevered since the beginning. Buildings on Main Avenue and 8th Street South are some of the places that survived the 1893 fire. The buildings are subject to a compliant. Tenants in one of the buildings were ordered out because the space wasn't up to code.
Next door is home to the longest-standing women's clothing store, Downtown Diva. However, the woman who's worked there for 31 years has closed the shop for good. She thinks the buildings are too old and says she's feared for her safety and everyone around it. City inspectors appear to disagree. Valley News Team's Callie Hubbard got an inside look of the building and tells us why some are concerned. It's a story you'll only see here on Valley News Live.
There is nothing that Marjorie Norris Thompson loves more than glitz and glamour.
It's the gym at 5, and then maintenance starts at 9.
She gets her hair and face done twice a week.
I actually sleep on pillows that are elevated, much like a corpse, only still breathing.
Can't forget the finishing touch.
I'd never have an affair because there would always be a trail of glitter in the house. I'm child-free by choice, but this store to me was a child.
Over 100,000 people have walked through Downtown Diva along 8th Street in Fargo.
I loved what I do. Go like this.
But behind the Diva showroom, it's not shiny earrings and martini glasses.
Fill it up until it weighs about 40 pounds of water.
She empties water from her second floor.
2 and 3 and 5 and 10 times a day, and I would come down here at 3:30 at night and try to save my showroom.
The water is coming from the big hole in her ceiling. This is what it looks like up close. She's had 2 sump pumps running and 3 tubs inside a kiddie pool.
I've been doing this for probably 25 years.
The basement isn't much better.
These are the walls. These are the bricks that are coming out of the wall.
Norris Thompson says her basement's been leaking for decades, not to mention the bathroom that was started but never finished.
This is wrong. This is just wrong.
Those are just some of the many problems.
This is hollow. Strips the ceiling coming down.
With the historic building. We did some digging and found out Downtown Diva, the business college, and the buildings in between on 8th Street South and Main Avenue are all owned by the same person. The structures belong to Frank Leland Watkins and have been a part of his family since 1884, surviving the 1893 fire that nearly destroyed all of downtown Fargo. While the building has passed city inspection, she believes without substantial repairs going inside her building could eventually mean life or death. After sending an open records request to the city, we found out that within the 3 buildings, 7 addresses, and multiple tenant spaces, only 2 permits were issued in the last 32 years for small work going on. We found out that steps away from Downtown Diva is another building owned by Watkins. The city posted this danger sign on 806 and a half Main Avenue. Reports show the tenant living there was told to leave because it was unsafe. We asked the city why it was considered unsafe as Downtown Diva passed inspections. This includes energy, insulation, footing, and framing. They said the tenant living in the building next door was told to leave because the basement wasn't up to code. So we took it a step further, asking the city if we could get a walkthrough on why inspections passed in Downtown Diva and not in 806 and a half Main Avenue. The city denied that request. We found complaints the city received about Downtown Diva. An anonymous neighbor said they noticed a funky smell and some fine dust in the air. They say since it's such an old building, they're worried about what's in the air. A customer named Eric Eade called the city to say he smelled sewer gas there. And as of now, Morris Thompson has sold 31 years of stuff and has left her building.
Don't rent it again until you fix it. Don't put someone else through this. Don't have an old lady up there bailing water in the middle of the night. I have a permanent shoulder injury from this.
Before the building falls down on her or anyone else. In downtown Fargo, Callie Hubbard, Valley News Live.
Watkins did get back with us saying he knows about the leaking roof in Downtown Diva, but said the tenant said she was taking care of it with a sump pump and said not to worry about it. Watkins says he's put a lot of money into the buildings and they're not ready for demolition. He says he's going to attempt to solve the roof problems now that she's gone.
It's back to school for students at the community high school in West Fargo tomorrow. Overnight, the frigid winds blew open the roof access hatch, letting Arctic air into the building, which froze a pipe, which burst. The 4 bathrooms and 8 classrooms impacted have been cleaned and the pipe has been repaired.
Unfortunately, it's been a story that's been rumored in our town for a while.
There's a lot of talk tonight in Detroit Lakes about today's arrest of a woman who stands accused of running a corrupt massage parlor in town.
60-year-old Jin Lan Lee is being held on charges including prostitution. Valley News Team's Courtney Lockie has local reaction.
It's kind of a relief to have a non-legit business taken down so that we aren't all getting a bad rap.
Barbara Steger has owned Barbara's Hair and Body Care in Detroit Lakes for over a decade. This kind of news hits close to home.
Massage is such a need, and it's so therapeutic that everybody should be getting them and feel safe that they're not going to have wrong things happening.
Steger says the news didn't come as a surprise, but that it's still scary to have something like this happen so close.
Because it's not okay.
News like this spreads quickly, especially in a town the size of Detroit Lakes. This woman says she parks her car in the same lot every morning before work.
That's absolutely crazy. It's unbelievable.
Holmes says she noticed what she thought was suspicious activity in the area, but never could have dreamt of something so awful.
I'm so glad because those girls are taken advantage of, I feel, and nobody should be in that position.
Authorities say so far Lee's been the only one that's been taken into custody from the massage parlor, but 2 other search warrants were conducted at locations that are related to the business, and the investigation isn't over yet. Live in Detroit Lakes, Courtney Lockie, Valley News Live.
Thanks so much, Courtney. Local law enforcement, along with several other agencies, including the Minnesota BCA and the West Central Drug Task Force, are investigating.
The long-running debate at the Capitol in St. Paul over insulin affordability has shifted to the state Senate. Today, patients and parents were urging senators to keep working toward a compromise between competing Senate Republican and House Democratic proposals. Those bills are currently moving through committees. Helping diabetics afford insulin is one of the main pieces of unfinished business left over from the 2019 session when a compromise fell apart at the end.
A mural honoring Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg appears to be coming to Fargo. Former City Commissioner Mike Williams says he has received permission from a downtown Fargo business owner to put the mural in an alley where other artwork is on display. The move followed an unfavorable reception from people in Bismarck, which is the home of the artist, who came up with the 7-foot-tall mural. That idea was scrapped after social media threats of boycotts and possible vandalism.
Last year's record fell around 8 o'clock tonight. That's the current amount that's been raised during today's 13th year of Giving Hearts Day. This 24-hour event is big for almost 500 charities across North Dakota and northwestern Minnesota. The goal is to not only help the charities by matching some of the money donated, but to raise awareness of many charities and get people to dig deep and give to them.
We do have needs of people that don't get met, and that's where these charities step in and say, look, we can help. We can help provide the greatest quality of life in the world right here in North Dakota and northwest Minnesota. If we get hundreds of thousands of people giving on Giving Hearts Day, can you imagine the quality of life in North Dakota and in Minnesota? It's unstoppable. It's unfathomable.
And it's not too late to donate. If you want to help add to the groundbreaking total, go to our app and click on this story.
A report shows the high cost of childcare is eating away at family budgets. Numbers provided by the nonprofit Child Care Aware find that in Minnesota and North Dakota, the average that you spend on daycare is about the same as you would on 1 year's tuition at a 4-year public institution.
I don't think any daycare, in my opinion, is really affordable. It's definitely expensive.
I think that the biggest misconception in our area, in the Fargo-Moorhead area, is that there is a major lack of childcare.
Schwartz adds that the area lacks high-quality, affordable options. According to Child Care Aware, more than 80% of a daycare's budget goes to paying employees who generally make around the minimum wage.
The Fargo Target may soon be your one-stop shop for everything, including liquor. An application has been filed with Fargo's Liquor Control Board for a store at the 13th Avenue South location. If approved, city ordinance calls for a separate entrance. The full city commission would have the final say.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with no wait weather.
Well, it's been cold all day, sub-zero here in the FM area. We're 9 below zero. The coldest of the air shifted off towards Hudson's Bay. Attawapiskat, 29 below. Well, it's cold one up there. For us, we're still very chilly. But this morning, ridiculously cold. Mentor 30 below, 29 below in Hillsboro. Fargo at 24 below, one of the warmer spots just off to our east Dilworth, recording 29 degrees below zero. A lot of you this morning starting out 30 to 40 below, as we talked about last night, particularly in western Minnesota. Right now, temperatures dropping off fairly quickly. It's 9 degrees below. We feel like 27 below on exposed skin, only a 10-mile-per-hour wind out there, and the coldest of the air from the Red River and points east, where it is 17 below in Wadena, Gwinner, and Jamestown are in the single digits below. A little closer look at some other communities: 17 below in Wadena, 15 below in Staples and Park Rapids. Up in northwest Minnesota, no picnic in Baudette at 14 below. Hallock has 17 below. Grand Forks, pretty chilly there as well. Factor in the wind and the iciest of the ice box wind chills right now in northwest Minnesota. 30 to 40 below is that wind chill advisory in effect for the entire viewing area as we go through the overnight hours. 25 to 40 below wind chills will be common. Here is a look at our picture as we head to bed tonight. Clouds on the increase in parts of eastern Montana. Heading our way, your hour-by-hour forecast shows overnight tonight, I expect those temperatures to continue to fall for the next couple of hours. Then after midnight, our western half of the viewing area from Fargo, Grand Forks, and out west will see south winds increase 15 to 20 miles per hour and temperatures start rising before daybreak. The coldest air in the morning will continue to be in central Minnesota where it is right now, but you too may moderate just a touch by daybreak. However, the winds will be 10 to 20 miles per hour and gusts higher than that first thing in the morning from the south, and that's very wind chilly. Wind chills around 30 below zero at the bus stop in the morning, some as cold as 40 below zero for wind chills. Well, south winds will warm us up. We'll see an increase in clouds throughout the midday hours and afternoon. We'll be in the teens and eventually 20s for some to near 30 degrees in the far west. But again, it comes with the wind that returns from the south. So we'll have a cooler feel to it. It will be gray. And then look at this. By the drive time home, our international border counties could have a dose of flaky material falling from the atmosphere, and that could coat roads with a slippery layer of slipperiness. As we head into the evening hours, we'll have hit and miss showers of snow. Fargo, 10 below to start, and it looks like a 2 above temperature as we glide through the morning with some sunshine. I don't think they like the forecast. Okay, on our way up to 17 degrees as we go through the afternoon. Then tomorrow evening will be steady as those clouds increase. I can't rule out a late night or renegade flake of snow. Remember extra hairspray tomorrow, folks, because it will be a blowing with gusts over 30, maybe even 40 miles per hour. The warmest weather out to the west, where we will see in the James River Valley and Devil's Lake Basin, mid-20s. A beautiful shot here, not only of sun dogs, but the whole halo. Thanks, Lisa, for your Audubon photo. Now a look at that planning forecast. Saturday, not looking bad. Still a flake or two in the atmosphere. Not a great chance in Fargo. We put it at 30%. 22 degrees. After that, more cold air sloshes down from Canada to spend a good several days. And then next week, finally on Thursday, something to celebrate, mid-20s out there. I don't know, cold enough for maybe some cinnamon pancakes in the morning.
We were just we were just pondering the slipperiness of the roads.
Is that what you're pondering while you're waving your arms while I'm doing the weather?
Something like that, yeah.
We were trying to
throw you off a little bit.
Oh, okay, you did a good job.